Hello, everyone. We are going to learn about what exactly is sound bathing and how can it empower all of us. Well, that's the topic for today with Luna. Luna is a sound bathing and spiritual guide mentor as well as women empowerment expert. She's joining me live from New York. Welcome and namaste, Luna.
Namaste. Thank you so much for having me. I'm actually in New Mexico, not New
Oh,
York,
I'm
but
sorry. I got all mixed up. Anything east of San Francisco for me is like like East Coast. Okay, sorry, apologies. All right, before we understand, let's just understand what exactly is sound bathing. What does it mean when we use this word?
yeah. So the concept of a sound bath is something that was born here in the West, and it's basically based on the healing modality of sound healing, like using sound as medicine. And a sound bath itself is kind of like a journey, I would say. It's basically a very meditative journey where the person is laying down usually, and there are different sounds and vibrations that are coming from different angles. You can see behind me, I have a few of my instruments right behind me, and that's pretty much what I use. So there are different kind of sounds, there are different kind of instruments, there are different types of vibrations, there are different types of frequencies, and they're all given by these different tools that I have behind me. So the person would normally just lay down and I would just play whatever I feel like sharing in that moment. And most people would fall asleep or enter a very deep meditative state. Some people have deep realizations, other people can simply just relax. So it's definitely like a very experiential journey. Yeah.
Okay, so what is it good for? Like, what kind of people come to you for getting the sound bath?
Yeah, so a lot of different people actually come for this type of treatment, and I would say that the main reason people come is because they feel anxious or stress, or they have a lot of tension, whether it is in their jobs or in a relationship or in life in general. So they are looking for a way to find more calm and more peace and to just be more centered in their lives. And sometimes things like meditation, for example, can be very challenging to certain people. So not everyone can meditate, but most people, or probably everyone, can receive a sound bath and feel good about it because it's such a comprehensive experience where the person doesn't really need to do much work themselves, right? So that's the main reason why people would come, but there are also a lot of different benefits, like, well, it definitely promotes calm, and it reduces stress, it helps with anxiety, but it also helps with circulation of the blood. It definitely strengthens the nervous system as well. It helps on an emotional level too, helping kind of rebalance the emotions, and it also works with the chakras, the energy centers, balancing our energy, helping us really connect with our center and find who we really are. I've seen like really beautiful things happen around that topic, and it's just so transformative. It's also really good for sleeping. So a lot of people who have trouble sleeping will either play sound healing, on Spotify or whatever is available, or they would come enjoy a sound bath. And sometimes people have a really, really hard time sleeping for a long time, and after experiencing a sound bath, they can finally find that state of relaxation. So I think another thing I would say is enhancing clarity and creativity. So a lot of times when our minds are spinning like crazy and we have too many thoughts and things happening in our brains, it can be really hard to connect to our creative centers and our clarity centers as well. So we feel blocked, we feel stuck, and with the vibrations of sounds, you begin to remove a lot of that blockage because the vibrations can literally penetrate your cells, and it helps by recalibrating your actual cells, like your actual DNA. So just imagine that there is a blockage within yourself. The vibration will penetrate your body, it will start to move that blockage, and then it will finally go away. So yeah, it has a lot of beautiful benefits, and it's a really powerful modality.
So I think that's fascinating. I'm completely fascinated with this sound bathing technique. Now, my question is, what does the session look like? Like, how do you take a sound bath? Is it like 1 hour and you keep sitting and listening to the sound bath? Is it like 5 minutes? I mean, how does it work? The mechanics of sound bath.
Yeah, I mean, you can do as long as you want. You know, it's 5 minutes is better than nothing. So that's definitely, something that if that's all you have, I highly recommend that you experience the 5 minutes and see how that affects your mood and the way you feel and your body and all that. But normally, so I do this two different ways. I do it online and I have like a sound system with microphones and mixers and things so that the sound can actually travel pretty well and with good quality to my clients. And then I also do it in person when things are available, right? And when I can. And so usually if I do it in person, it would be about 90 minutes. When I do it online, it can be a little shorter, but it always depends. I do recommend having about at least 60 minutes so it can actually feel like a journey, because otherwise it feels like a moment of relaxation. But when you're in there for all 60 minutes and you get to experience all the different sounds that these instruments can create, then it's like you're traveling. You go up, you go down, you go into the darkness, and you come into the sweet light, and so on. So it feels like you're journeying, and the more you do it, then the more you can incorporate it into your life. And a session looks like, so again, like online it would be slightly different. I usually, like, the person will usually receive an email with instructions, and I always invite them to create a special place in their homes or wherever they are, where they can lay down on their bed or on their couch or wherever they feel comfortable. I invite them to turn the lights off and light a candle and smudge and just do whatever feels good for them. And I would usually lead with a meditation and like a drop in so that we can let go of whatever we've been doing during the day. And then, people lay down and I just play my instruments and they will receive. I actually just did a sound bath right before this, and the woman fell asleep, which is exactly what her body needed because she was really tired after a long day of work. So that's what it's about. It's about giving your body what you need, right? So sometimes you'll receive rest, sometimes you'll receive clarity, sometimes you will feel activated, sometimes you'll feel relaxed. So it really depends on what the person needs. And when I do it in person, it's kind of like a similar thing, but instead of inviting people to create the setting themselves, I will create it myself, whether it is at my own space or in a studio if I'm working at a studio, or sometimes I would actually do it outdoors as well, like at the beach when I'm in California, or in a park, and so same thing, people will come and bring their yoga mats or their blankets, and it's all about being comfortable. So it's important that they can lay down, they can cover up with a blanket if they want, they can bring crystals and put them around or on their body, they can bring something to cover up their eyes and so on. And yeah, it's very intuitive. So every session is different and it really depends on what the person needs, like I was saying. So sometimes I would start by playing the gong, or other times I would start by playing the bowls, or sometimes I would do some rain or ocean sounds and so on. So every session is different, but that's essentially kind of how it goes in most sessions.
Okay, okay. Could you play the gong? When you said that you would play the gong, it just kind of stirred on me that if you could play the gong and see what kind of vibration it will come.
Yeah, of course. So just like I was telling you, I don't have, I mean, I do have a microphone and all the professional system, but I don't have it right now. So I don't know how it's gonna sound, but let's see. I'm gonna move the camera a little closer. This is a moon gong and it's tuned to the frequency of the moon. So, you know, it sounds something like this. And then the bowls, if you can hear this, it's a very different sound. and so on. There's so many more instruments that I can't even show you on the screen right now, but yeah, it is a very, very transformative and empowering and just beautiful experience. It changed my life. That's why I like offering it to people.
I think it's beautiful. Well, thank you so much. This is a quick 10-minute session that we bring on a daily basis just to show the efficacy and power of holistic medicine and holistic therapies. It could be sound as medicine, it could be food as medicine, yoga as medicine, all kind of natural therapies that we're bringing with that. Luna, thank you so much. And namaste
Thank
and have
you. Namaste. Have a beautiful night. Bye bye.
yeah, thank you. Happy holidays to everyone.